On the question of Elon Musk, look, I think most people are more interested in what's going to happen to the NHS, frankly, than what's happening on Twitter. But you asked me a really important question that's been in the news for the last few days. I am going to, with permission, just answer it quite fully, because it is a really important set of issues. And let me start with this. Child sexual exploitation is utterly sickening, utterly sickening. And for many, many years, too many victims have been completely let down by perverse ideas about community relations, or by the idea that institutions must be protected above all else. And they've not been listened to, and they've not been heard. And when I was chief prosecutor for 5 years, I tackled that head on, because I could see what was happening. And that's why I reopened cases that had been closed and supposedly finished. I brought the first major prosecution of an Asian grooming gang. In the particular case, it was in Rochdale, but it was the first of its kind. There were many that then followed that format. I changed the whole prosecution approach, because I wanted to challenge, and did challenge, the myths and stereotypes that were stopping those victims being heard. So we changed the entire approach, not without criticism at the time, I might add. And when I left office, we had the highest number of child sexual abuse cases being prosecuted on record. Now, that record is not secret. As a public servant, it's there for all of you or everybody to see. I also called for mandatory reporting of child sexual abuse. I called for that a decade ago. The Tories did nothing about that for those 10 long years, including when the J report came out nearly 3 years ago now. Central plank, mandatory reporting, still hasn't been done. We're going to do it. But let's just to bring it in closer, and I will answer you on Jess Phillips in particular, because those that are spreading lies and misinformation as far and as wide as possible, they're not interested in victims. They're interested in themselves. Those who are cheerleading Tommy Robinson, not interested in justice. They're supporting a man who went to prison for nearly collapsing a grooming case, a gang grooming case. These are people who are trying to get some kind of vicarious thrill from street violence that people like Tommy Robinson promote. And those attacking Jess Phillips, who I'm proud to call a colleague and a friend, not protecting victims. Jess Phillips has done 1,000 times more than they've even dreamt about when it comes to protecting victims of sexual abuse throughout her entire career. And so just as I took on the criminal justice system and the institutions when I was chief prosecutor, I'm prepared to call out this for what it is. We've seen this playbook many times, whipping up of intimidation and threats of violence, hoping that the media will amplify it. Now, Jess Phillips does not need me or anybody else to speak on her behalf. But when the poison of the far right leads to serious threats to Jess Phillips and others, then in my book, a line has been crossed.
Hey guys, Elon Musk has been an ongoing thorn in the side of Keir Starmer and his government since they took office. The world's richest man hasn't just been using his platform to spread misinformation. He's also been amplifying voices from the radical and far right. Musk's latest attack wasn't limited to Starmer alone. He also insulted and argumentatively incited hostility towards Government Minister Jess Phillips. I'm not a massive fan of Jess Phillips, but attacking anyone in that way is not particularly fruitful, is it? So how do you respond to someone this reckless and dangerous? Perhaps Starmer's measured approach was the right one. On the issue of Elon Musk, Starmer recently addressed this in a press conference. While people are understandably more concerned about pressing issues like the NHS and the cost of living crisis rather than the social media drama, it is important to acknowledge the gravity of Musk's actions. Starmer didn't shy away from tackling this head-on, framing it as a part of a broader pattern of intimidation and misinformation that damages political discourse, which it does. He spoke about the serious issue of child sexual exploitation, an area where victims have been historically let down by institutional failings and misguided priorities. Starmer highlighted his own record as chief prosecutor, where he reopened cases, successfully prosecuted grooming gangs, and reformed the justice system's approach to protect victims. This is not just a response to Musk, but a reminder of what real leadership looks like, focused on delivering results and protecting the vulnerable. Those amplifying far-right rhetoric, including Musk, are not interested in justice or victims. They're more focused on self-promotion, spreading lies and stoking division. Figures like Tommy Robinson, whom Musk has boosted, represent a toxic narrative that thrives on incitement and misinformation. Starmer rightly called this out, emphasising that individuals like Jess Phillips, whom Musk targeted, have done far more to support victims than those seeking to tear down public trust. Starmer's approach to Musk and his ilk is strategic. Engaging Musk directly on his platform, where he controls the narrative, so to speak, and has millions of followers, would be counterproductive. Instead, Starmer uses his own significant platform as Prime Minister to address the real issues like child protection, the NHS, and the cost of living. Most people in the UK aren't following Musk or Farage's social media accounts. They care about bread and butter concerns, not the drama Musk tries to stir up. Starmer's response shows the importance of rising above the social media noise, as much as I don't like the guy, to focus on substantive leadership. By addressing the underlying issues, rather than getting bogged down in direct confrontations with Musk, he keeps the focus where it belongs, on the people he was elected to serve. But let me know what you think in the comments. I've been Jake from Just Jake. As always, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time. You actually made it to the end of the video. If you would like to subscribe to the channel, which, why haven't you already, is somewhere over there. And also, if you want to watch more videos, also check out over there. I've been Jake from Just Jake. See you later.